Now, it's taken me some time to actually put this together, mostly on account of me being lazy, but there were many changes to the game while I didn't actually work on this. Most of my footage was just before patch 11 came out, and that was about a few months ago, 6 months ago. Actually, 4 to 6 months ago, something like that. I don't remember. But at the time of recording this, I am still a little bit sick. I'm sorry if you can hear it in my voice, but I wanted to get this out of the way. I'm not sure whether people want to actually see this kind of stuff or not, but in case they do, I thought I'd put it out there. So, what I want to accomplish with this series, if it becomes a series, is to kind of help newer players along with some of the more minute details, the smaller things in the game. Some people may have some problems with, not many, but you never know. And what prompted this whole thing was, I needed disease cures at the time. I was sicker than a dog in the game, so it was just like I need to go make some up. Easiest way to do it is forest disease cures because I know where all the ingredients are at. And then it hit me like I know this stuff. Many people may not. So why not throw this together and see what happens? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Little Things series. So basically, there are two ways of going about actually acquiring said disease cures, at least for the forest variant. Now, mind you, little preface here. There are multiple recipes for disease cures for like forest region or like ash heap or for toxic valley, this, that, the other thing. But whenever you actually make them, they're all going to turn out as disease cures. There's going to be no differentiation between them. So then, the first way of actually going about getting disease cures is searching, med kits, first aid kits, chems, boxes, and doctor's bags. One thing to actually help with this process is actually a perk called Pharma, which at different ranks of Pharma under the luck tree, you'll have better chances of finding more drugs whenever you hit the search option. 1 star is the yields 40% chance, 2 stars 60% chance, and 3 stars 80% chance. If you want to make some extra caps, or if you're trying to find a certain kind of drug, I highly recommend having this on whenever searching these kind of containers. All you basically do is, for PC at least, it's the spacebar. Once you do hit search, random dice roll goes, and I actually won that one, which, honestly, I got the same thing that amounts to disease cures, which is antibiotics. So then, you can go around finding any medkits or anything that have that sort of thing. Again, medkits, chem boxes, the works. But let's actually get into making the disease cures. The ingredients we're going to need to actually make the forest variant disease cures, which honestly is the easiest one. You kind of know this out the gate. 2 blood leaf, 2 fire caps, 2 stamp tail reed, and
fucking laser sights.
No, Thatcher. Boiled water. Anyway, let's start with the hardest ingredient to find first, which is fire caps. Because they're the most scarce out of all these ingredients. You could find them randomly by gallivanting through the forest and everything, but I really don't recommend that, so let's actually go to my guaranteed spawn first. So, north of the Overseer's camp here, well, north along... what road is this? Well, intersecting Route 59 is Slocum Joe's. So we're gonna head there from the Overseer's camp real quick. Excuse me? Die.
Burn it out.
Sorry. Couldn't know myself on that one. So right there is Slocum Joe's. Usually there's a couple mobs here and there. Throughout that place, sometimes mobs are battling, but that's not what we're worried about at the moment. Right across the way is a log that usually has some fire caps on it, but not this time around. I'll probably pull up some footage of me actually finding some here.
But across the river also... Whee! Marsupial's amazing. You're gonna find a whole lot more. Boink. Oh, shoot. Before I forget, a perk to actually find some of the... to help you get more of these ingredients is... No, not concentrated fire. Where is... Green Thumb. What this basically does is it allows you to get twice as much flora whenever you're trying to harvest shit. Which includes, you know, fire caps, lead leaf, snake-tail reed, plants in general. You're basically going to get double of whatever you find. So, that's always good. That's one guaranteed spawn. Yeah, over here at the Vault-Tec Agricultural Center, Research Center, in the basement of this place, you're going to find some more, possibly, but more on that in a minute. If the event Fertile Soil is going on here, I highly recommend doing it. It's actually pretty simple. I'll probably do a video on that in the future if this series goes well. So, basically, head inside and walk downstairs to the basement. I'm just going to fall because I can survive it. Most of y'all can't. And whenever there's one you want to end the event after killing the bots, just go to here. In this room, however... Oh, we're actually lucky. There is actually a fucking fire cap here. But a lot of times when I'm down here, this is probably the first place anybody hits, so they usually get it before I do. It's not always the most reliable spawn, but it's definitely a good place to start. Now for a more guaranteed spawn. So yeah, over here by the Kanawala Nuka-Cola plant, actually gonna marvel at the destruction of this place, while the rest of the plant looks fucking fine. But more importantly, past this way, heading more northwestward, passing the ghouls and everything, and heading into the woods. There's actually a bunch of logs and everything. Ah, there's our specimens. That actually spawn a lot of fire caps over here. Look, and you can see up in the corner that Green Thumb's triggering. But yeah, there's actually a couple spots through these woods that guaranteed spawn for these fire caps. But yeah, in between the plant and Lewis & Sons farm supply, you should find enough. Now this last place that I want to cover real quick, a lot of people say it's really good, but from my experience it's not. Just for the simple fact that we're kind of on the Savage Divide at the moment. Well, near the Savage Divide, more going into higher level areas, so many lower level players are probably not going to be welcome here. Especially if you don't have power armor to kind of scale this place, or goat legs, or bird bones. It can get complicated, but mainly over here at the monorail elevator, there is a corpse. Where the hell was it? Here, corpsey, corpsey, corpsey. Oh, he's over there. Yoink. And he has a basket of fire caps. Now, a lot of people say he has a lot in his basket, but not. Anytime I've been over here, it's not been the case. Plus, sometimes there are some enemies that spawn over here. I'm probably going to play some footage of the last time I was trying to do this. Of a little tougher enemies. Sorry, Stan, I'm not going to answer that at the moment. But anyway, there are some enemies in this area that are a little bit higher level. Let me see if there's any... Oh, hey, Bloodleaf. I'll talk about that in a second. But in the meantime, this place, while it can spawn some fire caps, some lead if you travel the monorail, and a couple other things, it's not really worth it to come over here, especially if you're lower level. You might get your ass killed. I mean, there were no mobs this time around, but I have evidence there are some that lurk. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be talking about is, well, I'm actually going to put the next two ingredients together because they actually are found together a lot of the time. Snapetail Reed and Bloodleaf. As you saw a little bit ago, we found some Bloodleaf pretty abundant all over the place. Like, all over the map. You could probably find Bloodleaf next to waterways and everything. Hell, I find Bloodleaf all the time over at my camp, which is all the way over here. But a good practice to kind of do for getting at least Bloodleaf and Snapetail Reed is starting from here at Point Pleasant and working way all the way down to the hot dog stand. If you want to go even further to the Ohio River Adventures, feel free to do so, because all along this coastline, Bloodleaf and Snapetail Reed are going to spawn, even in here, here, basically all over the goddamn place. But less of me talking. I'm probably going to speed this part up so that you guys don't have to see all this, but starting here, Snapetail Reed, and Green Thumb's kicking in. And there you have it, folks. 31 Snapetail Reed. Mind you, I did eat a couple just because I needed to take care of my hunger issues. And 34 Bloodleaf. So we can make a shit ton just by going from Point Pleasant to the hot dog stand. And like I said, there's even more down that way towards the Ohio River Adventures. So in theory, you can make a shit ton of disease cures if you have enough of the other ingredients. Hell, right now I'm over encumbered just because of all the stuff I picked up. On to the last ingredient, which is boiled water. To make boiled water, what we're gonna need is two dirty water, which you can collect at any river, stream, or anything like that. Or even at sinks. Sinks work too. And just hit the collect button. For PC, it's R by default. Go up to any cooking station or any chemistry workbench and just make a couple of these up. And lastly, for the actually crafting the disease cures, perk you're gonna want to have on. Oh, that's the perk I wanted. Is Chemist. Basically, this perk allows you to double the quantity of any chems that you're making, with caveats being serums and yeah, that's about it. Also, for your level 50 plus players, I highly recommend getting Super Duper. For those of you that don't know, this unlocks at level 50, and what it basically does is it gives you a chance to double anything that you're crafting. Anything. At 1 star it's 10%, 20% at 2, and 30% at 3, but when this thing kicks off, it can yield to some of the best results. And it stacks with your other perks that double results of certain stuff, like Chemist. Chemist will say, if you're making stim packs from, or just creating diluted stim packs, you need 1 stim pack. Normally turns into 2 diluted. With this, it turns into 4 diluted from 1 stim pack. And as Super Duper kicks off, you get 8 diluted stim packs for the price of 1 stim pack. But yeah, once you have all the ingredients, go up to any cooking or chemistry workstation. I'm just going to use the cooking station just because it's here. Under the healing tab, Disease Cure, Forest Variants. And you heard that notification? That means Super Duper kicked off. So now, I have 12. Now, that's only because Super Duper kicked off twice, but you can see the benefits of having it on if you're level 50 plus. If you're not, no worries, you can still get away with having 2 disease cures for every time you cook, which, by the by, Chemist actually unlocks at level 34 under the intelligence tree. So definitely something to keep in mind. If you're only needing like 1 or 2 disease cures to kind of get you by in your lower level, You know, it's not really a requirement to actually make the disease cures, but it's definitely handy to have.
So I hope all of you found that helpful. I don't know if you did or not, if there's something I need to improve on, which honestly I know I do, because I haven't done a record anything in a long time, so a little bit on the rusty side. But if there's a certain subject that you're having trouble with that you want me to cover at some point, please let me know in the comments. I'm usually streaming on Twitch. That's John Boring over on Twitch. Link for that will be in the description. I'm usually streaming over there at least 6 to 7 days a week. Sometimes I take Mondays off just because I need to catch up on sleep. And if you want to support me in any other way, links to my Patreon and PayPal are in the description also. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, your waifu is shit. Have a nice day.